Hello, a very good morning to you. All around us, we hear stories of grass to grace, and not all of us are always going to experience that. Indeed, some of us would aspire to be those people we find in those characters for the stories that we tend to hear around us. That is, from grass to grace. There will be people who somehow would always be along the grass, from grass to grass. If you want to experience that grace, how do you encounter the various testimonies that will give you the manifestations of the things that you need? And it doesn't matter whether you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist, you're a Hindu, or perhaps you're a traditionalist, etc. How do you inspire yourself to know that you can take yourself out of those doldrums into the positivity that you need? How do you inspire yourself to know that those goals and objectives and dreams and fantasies that you have will take you to the level of the next? So you may be in a ghetto, you may be in some of those obscure communities that many of us grew up in, but you always need to visualize where you want to go. And that very grass to grace story of yours will come to pass. And that is the word I leave for you this morning. And with a team led by Derek Okosam, Forgive, and we have Fred, Mama Viuswa Bwaje, etc. We're here to tell you that you can achieve all the things that you want to be from grass to grace. And that's why we start a whole show. And the ghetto, arise, y'all. And that's from Edem. And we know he's now on a big level now. Thanks for joining me. How are you?
Well.
Right.
Ghetto brought me here.
Yeah. And we're here to do a lot more things, Mama V.
Yeah, we are. We'll come with the AM News. We've got the newspapers for you. We'll check out a few of the online portals, and then we'll bring you sports.
Okay, so we know that it is, it depends on how you're counting. Electoral Commission says 7 days, and so we're also going with 7 days. But from tomorrow, it will be exactly a week to the elections. And so after the 7th day on Tuesday, the next day is the start of the election. We know that the election starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. But this is what we want to tell you. Just in case you don't have an ID card, but you're too sure, too sure that your name is in the register, please make sure that you go to the polling station, go and vote. And when you get there, your name will be checked. The only disadvantage is that if you were not checking your name, or you didn't check your name during the exhibition exercise, it means that you don't know which of the polling stations in the area that you belong to, but you can still go and vote without an ID card.
All right, but I think that it's also not too late to get yourself a new ID card. You can just pay, I think it's 5 Ghana cedis at any commercial bank, and then, you know, you can just go to the District Electoral Commission office and then get yourself a card. But the campaign is getting heated. We're going to touch base with the various campaign teams. We've got our colleague Richard Kwejo Nyako joining the Nana Addo campaign. More like knowing exactly what's happening. And then our own Seth Kwame Boateng is also with the presidents.
Definitely.
So we're going to touch base with them and see how it's going. We're not forgetting the PPP, the CPP, the NDP as well, and then the PNC.
We know on the side, we those who will be participating in the special voting process, the media, the security services, the health personnel, etc., those who will be on duty, we had to make an application to make sure that we will be in a position to vote that very special day. And it's just this very Thursday, by the way. But for journalists and for media people, etc., they had to apply for some accreditation. And apparently, the Electoral Commission and its personnel made some few mistakes with the names and even some detail of those personnel of the media houses who would apply for those accreditation and for the purposes for which they apply them for. Some of the personnel of the media houses haven't taken kindly to some of those anomalies so far. They've been on social media, mainstream media, concerned and raising those issues, and so we'll be dealing with them as well. But those will give us a wrap-up of the campaign activities, but then we have to talk about the National Health Insurance Scheme as well. And we know that they'll be putting together or starting a membership card or a drive in which they can issue a card beyond a 1-year period. And this is called the multi-year renewal system. And this is intended to offer beneficiaries the option to renew their cards 2 or 3 or 4 years, depending on their choice of eligibility. And it is also to reduce long queues and to broaden coverage at the various areas for the National Health Insurance Scheme.
All right. Now that you know what's on our table, why don't you get involved with your comments? 0560 800,000. That's the WhatsApp number.
And we're streaming live on our Facebook page. The page's name is Joy News on TV, and we've linked that very page to our Twitter handle at Joy News on TV. But in the meantime, we're also streaming live on our YouTube channel, and the channel's name is My Joy Online TV. Right now, we have to bring you the news. It's up next.